The air in the lower levels of Nexus Station smelled like rust and broken dreams. Steam hissed from old pipes, and sparks flew from damaged electrical panels. Most people avoided this place. It was dark, dirty, and full of things that did not work anymore. But Zarathik had nowhere else to go. She sat in the corner of a maintenance room, her knees pulled up to her chest. Her skin was like crystal, but instead of being beautiful, it flickered with ugly colors: purple for fear, gray for sadness, red for pain. The colors never stopped changing, never stayed steady like they should. Her people, the Veilnari, could talk with their minds. They shared thoughts and feelings without speaking words. But when Zarathik tried to do this, it hurt everyone around her. Her thoughts were too loud, too sharp, too wrong. They cut into other minds like broken glass. That was why her family sent her away. That was why her people called her broken. 2 years ago, they put her on a ship to Nexus Station and told her never to come back. She was 16 then. Now she was 18, and she had learned to survive in the forgotten places where nobody looked. The sound of heavy boots made her look up. A human was walking down the hallway, checking rooms with a small device in his hand. He wore the green uniform of a Terra Alliance Marine. His dark hair was cut short, and he had scars on his hands that told stories of old fights. Zarathik tried to make herself smaller. Humans were not as bad as some aliens, but they still did not like her kind of broken. The device in the man's hand was beeping faster as he got closer to her hiding spot. Strange energy readings, the human said to himself. His voice was deep and calm. Command said to check it out. He stopped at her door and looked inside. Their eyes met. Zarathik waited for him to shout, to call security, to run away like everyone else did. But he just stood there, studying her with curious brown eyes. "You okay, kid?" he asked. Zarathik did not answer. She could not trust her voice not to shake. The human stepped into the room slowly, like he was approaching a scared animal. "I'm Marcus Chen, Staff Sergeant, Terra Alliance Marines. What's your name?" Still no answer, but something strange was happening. Usually, when people got close to her, Zarathik's broken telepathy would start screaming in her head. The noise would build and build until she could not think straight. But this human's mind felt different. Quiet. Steady. The chaos in her head actually got softer when he was near. "I know you can understand me," Marcus said. He sat down on a broken pipe, keeping some distance between them. "Your translation implant is working, I can see the light." Zarathik touched the small device behind her ear. All aliens on the station had to wear them to talk with other species. "You don't have to tell me anything," Marcus continued. "But you look hungry and cold. When's the last time you ate something?" Her stomach chose that moment to growl loudly. She had not eaten in 2 days. The small credits she earned cleaning up after the night shift were not enough for food and shelter both. Marcus smiled. It was not the fake smile most people used when they wanted something. It was real, warm, and kind. "Come on, let's get you some food. My treat." Before Zarathik could decide what to do, more footsteps echoed in the hallway. These were different, sharper, more official. Security officers appeared at the door, their blue uniforms crisp and clean. "Sir, we got reports of an unauthorized alien in this sector," the lead officer said. He was tall and thin with gray skin and 4 arms. A Zentaurian. "We're here to remove the vagrant." "Vagrant?" Marcus stood up slowly. His voice stayed calm, but something dangerous flickered in his eyes. "I don't see any vagrant here. The Veilnari female, sir. She's been living in these maintenance areas without permission. It's against station regulations." Marcus looked back at Zarathik, then at the officers. "She's with me." "Sir?" "The girl is under human protection. Terra Alliance protection, to be specific." The Zentaurian officer's 4 eyes narrowed. "Sir, with respect, you can't just claim random aliens. There are procedures." "Are you questioning the authority of the Terra Alliance?" Marcus asked. His voice got very quiet, which somehow made it more scary than if he had shouted. No, sir. But good. Then we understand each other. The officers looked at each other, confused and annoyed. But they could not argue with a Terra Alliance Marine without causing bigger problems. They left, muttering complaints in their own language. Marcus turned back to Zarathik. Well, that makes things official, I guess. You hungry or not? For the first time in years, Zarathik felt something like hope. She nodded. The station's food court was busy and loud. Aliens from dozens of species sat at tables eating, talking, and doing business. Zarathik stayed close to Marcus as they walked to a food vendor. Her skin flickered nervously between blue and purple. 2 meals, Marcus told the vendor, a short alien with green fur. Whatever's good today. You sure you want to sit with that one? The vendor asked, looking at Zarathik with disgust. Velnari minds are unpleasant. Her mind is fine, Marcus said firmly. Just give us the food. They found a quiet table in the corner. Zarathik ate quickly, afraid the food might disappear if she took too long. Marcus ate slower, watching the crowds around them. So, he said after a while, what's your story? Zarathik looked up from her plate. My story? Yeah. How'd you end up living in the maintenance tunnels? She was quiet for a long time. Then, in a voice barely above a whisper, she said, I am broken. Broken how? My telepathy. It hurts people, my family. My people. They sent me away. Marcus nodded like this made perfect sense. How long ago? 2 years. And you've been alone since then? She nodded. That must have been hard. It was such a simple thing to say, but it hit Zarathik like a punch to the chest. Hard. Yes, it had been hard. Impossibly hard. And no one had ever said that before. No one had ever acted like her pain mattered. Her skin flickered to a color Marcus had not seen before. Soft yellow, like sunlight. What's that color mean? He asked. Gratitude, she whispered. Before Marcus could respond, a new voice cut through the noise of the food court. How touching, a human playing with broken toys. They turned to see a tall, elegant alien approaching their table. His skin was silver and smooth, and he wore the dark robes of a Galactic Council ambassador. Other aliens in the food court stopped, talking, and stared. This was someone important. Ambassador Veltar, Marcus said, standing up. What can I do for you? You can stop embarrassing yourself, Veltar said coldly, and stop wasting our time with this creature. Her name is Zarathik. Her name is irrelevant. She is a defective specimen whose own people have discarded her. The Velanari asked us to dispose of her quietly, not parade her around the station. Zarathik's skin went dark gray. She started to stand, to run, but Marcus put a gentle hand on her shoulder. She stays with me, he said. Veltar laughed. It was a sound like breaking glass. Human sentimentality. You cannot save every broken thing you find, Sergeant Chen. Some things are meant to be thrown away. Maybe, Marcus said. But I've always been bad at following directions. The ambassador's silver eyes grew cold. Be careful, human. Your species is still new to the galactic community. You would not want to make enemies over something so worthless. Is that a threat? It is advice, free of charge. Veltar walked away, his robes flowing behind him like dark water. Other aliens in the food court slowly went back to their meals, but Zarathik could feel their stares like tiny knives. Why? She asked Marcus. Why are you helping me? Marcus sat back down and looked at her seriously. You know what I see when I look at you? She shook her head. I see someone who's survived 2 years on her own, in one of the toughest places in the galaxy. I see someone strong enough to keep going when everyone else gave up on her. That doesn't sound broken to me. That sounds pretty amazing. Zarathik's skin flickered through several colors at once. She had never heard anyone describe her as amazing before. Besides, Marcus added with a grin, I've always liked the weird kids. For the first time in 2 years, Zarathik almost smiled. Marcus found Zarathik a small room in the human quarters of Nexus Station. It was not much, just a bed, a desk, and a tiny bathroom, but it was clean and safe. More importantly, it was hers. The rent's paid for a month, Marcus told her as she looked around the room with wide eyes. After that, we'll figure something out. Zarathik touched the soft blanket on the bed. She had been sleeping on metal floors for so long she had almost forgotten what comfort felt like. Why are you doing this? She asked again. Marcus sat down in the room's only chair. You really want to know? She nodded. Back on Earth, I had a little sister, Sarah. She was different. Had trouble making friends, trouble fitting in. Kids called her weird, strange, broken. His voice got quiet. I wasn't there enough to protect her. Military deployment, you know. When I came back, she was gone. Took her own life because she couldn't handle being alone anymore. Zarathik's skin flickered to deep blue, the color of sadness and understanding. I can't bring Sarah back, Marcus continued. But maybe I can make sure another kid doesn't have to face the universe alone. They sat in comfortable silence for a while. Then Zarathik said something that surprised them both. Your mind is quiet. Marcus looked at her. What do you mean? Other people's minds are loud. They scream at me, hurt me, but yours? She struggled to find the right words. Yours is like calm water. Huh. Marcus thought about this. Maybe it's the PTSD. PTSD? Post-traumatic stress disorder. Battle fatigue. When you see too much war, your brain learns to shut out extra noise just to survive. He smiled sadly. Guess there's a first time for everything. Mental illness? Being useful. Over the next few days, Marcus taught Zarathik things no one had ever bothered to show her. How to use the human-style computer terminals. How to order food from different vendors. How to navigate the station's complex level system. But, more than that, he taught her things about being around people that had nothing to do with telepathy. Eye contact, he said as they walked through the market district. Humans use it to show respect and honesty. But don't stare too long or it becomes threatening. How long is too long? You'll figure it out. It's different with each person. That seems complicated. Everything about people is complicated. That's what makes it interesting. Zarathik was a fast learner. Within a week, she could move through the station without drawing too much attention. Her skin still changed colors with her emotions, but she was learning to control the worst of the flickering. The real surprise came when Marcus started teaching her basic self-defense. I don't understand, she said, as he showed her how to throw a punch. My people solve problems with mental connection, not violence. Your people aren't here, Marcus pointed out, and sometimes talking doesn't work. But I'm not strong like you. Strength isn't just about muscles. It's about knowing when to fight and when to run. It's about protecting what matters to you. What matters to me? Marcus stopped the lesson and looked at her seriously. That's something you have to figure out for yourself. As the days passed, something unexpected began to happen. Zarathik's chaotic telepathy started to change. When she was around Marcus, the painful noise in her head grew quieter. She could almost touch his mind without causing hurt. It's like your thoughts have smooth edges, she told him one evening as they shared dinner in the human mess hall. Everyone else's minds are sharp like broken metal, but yours feel safe. Maybe we're both broken in just the right way, Marcus said. That night, Zarathik had the first peaceful sleep she could remember. But their quiet life together did not last long. Marcus was in his quarters, writing a report, when his communication panel buzzed. The face that appeared on the screen made his blood run cold. Commander Kane, Marcus said, sitting up straighter. Chen. Commander Kane was the head of Terra Alliance Intelligence on Nexus Station. He had the kind of face that never smiled and eyes that saw everything. We need to talk, my office, now. Sir, if this is about the girl, it's about a lot more than the girl. Move. 20 minutes later, Marcus sat across from Kane in a secure briefing room. The older man slid a data pad across the table. Read, Kane ordered. Marcus looked at the high screen. It was an intelligence report about something called the hegemony. He had heard the name before, some kind of political movement in the outer systems. But according to this report, they were much more than that. They're calling themselves the Pure Gene Alliance now, Kane explained. Started as a small group of species who thought the galaxy was getting too mixed up, too diverse. Now they control 12 star systems and have supporters in the Galactic Council. What does this have to do with Zarathik? Kane took the datapad back and switched to a different file. They've been tracking genetic anomalies across the galaxy. People who don't fit their idea of species purity. Your little alien friend is on their list. Marcus felt something cold settle in his stomach. What kind of list? The kind that ends with people disappearing. Kane leaned forward. Chen, these people aren't just politicians. They have resources, technology, and very specific ideas about who deserves to exist. The Vailnari with broken telepathy? The humans who bond with aliens? The AI hybrids who think differently? They want all of them gone. They can't just make people disappear. The Galactic Council has laws. The Galactic Council has politics. And right now, the hegemony has a lot of influence. Kane stood up. There's more. Show me your left arm. Confused, Marcus rolled up his sleeve. Kane ran a small scanner over his skin. The device beeped and showed a red warning light. Neural tracking nanobots, Kane said. Microscopic. Probably introduced through food or water. They've been monitoring your brain activity for the past week. Monitoring it for what? To see how you interact with the girl. To see if her telepathic abilities are affecting human neural patterns. Kane put the scanner away. They're building a case that she's dangerous. That her defective telepathy could spread to other species like a virus. Marcus stood up fast, the chair scraping against the floor. I have to warn her. Wait. Kane grabbed his arm. There's something else. Ambassador Veltar filed a formal complaint yesterday. He's claiming that you're interfering with necessary species management. The Galactic Council is reviewing his request to have the girl removed from the station. Removed to where? Kane's expression answered that question without words. How long do we have? Maybe a day, maybe less. Marcus was already moving toward the door. Then we better get moving. He found Zarathik in her room reading one of the human books he had given her. She looked up when he entered and her skin immediately shifted to worried purple. Something's wrong, she said. It was not a question. We need to leave. Now. Leave? Where? Marcus was already pulling emergency supplies from his pack. Somewhere safe while we figure this out. There are people coming for you and they don't want to help. Zarathik set down her book with shaking hands. My people? No. Different people. Worse people. As if his words had summoned them, alarms began blaring throughout the station. Emergency lights flashed red, and a calm computer voice announced, Security alert. All residents remain in designated areas. Security teams to Level 7. Level 7, the human quarters. Marcus grabbed Zarathik's hand. We're leaving. Right now. They ran through corridors that were suddenly full of armed security officers. Most wore the blue uniforms of station security, but Marcus spotted others. Aliens in black armor with strange weapons. He had never seen them before, but he knew what they were. Hegemony agents. This way, he whispered, pulling Zarathik toward a maintenance access panel. Behind them, he could hear heavy footsteps and voices speaking in languages he did not recognize. But one voice he knew very well. The human will be with her, Ambassador Veltar was saying. Find them both. The hegemony wants them alive for questioning. Marcus got the access panel open and pushed Zarathik through into the maintenance tunnels. As they crawled through the narrow space, she asked the question he had been dreading. What do they want from me? I don't know, Marcus lied. But whatever it is, they're not getting it. Behind them, lights flickered and voices grew louder. The hunt had begun. In the darkness of the maintenance tunnel, Zarathik's skin glowed with soft white light, the color of trust. She believed Marcus would protect her. He just hoped he could live up to that faith. The maintenance tunnels of Nexus Station were like a secret world beneath the busy levels above. Marcus led Zarathik through narrow passages that most people did not even know existed. Water dripped from old pipes and strange machines hummed in the darkness. "Where are we going?" Zarathik whispered. "Sector 12, Marcus said, checking his handheld scanner. "Old storage area. Nobody goes there anymore." They crawled for what felt like hours. Marcus had downloaded the station schematics to his scanner years ago during his first posting here. He never thought he would need them to hide from the law. Behind them, voices echoed through the tunnels. The search teams were getting closer. Finally, Marcus found what he was looking for, a large storage room filled with broken equipment and forgotten supplies. He sealed the door behind them and activated a small signal jammer from his gear. "That should buy us some time," he said. Zarathik sat down on a crate, her skin flickering between gray and purple. "I don't understand. What did I do wrong?" Marcus knelt in front of her. "You didn't do anything wrong. Some people are just afraid of things they don't understand. But I'm broken. Even my own people said so." "Your people were wrong." Marcus pulled out his scanner and showed her something. "Look at this. This is my brain activity when you're not around." The screen showed jagged red lines jumping up and down like mountain peaks. "And this is my brain when you are around." The lines became smooth and steady, like calm ocean waves. "See? Your telepathy doesn't hurt everyone. It actually helps me." Zarathik stared at the screen. I help you?" "Yeah. Your mind makes mine quiet, makes the war memories stop screaming at me." Marcus smiled. "Maybe you're not broken. Maybe you're just different in a way that matters." Before Zarathik could respond, something strange happened. The lights in the storage room began to flicker in a pattern. Not random flickering, deliberate, like someone was trying to send a message. "That's weird," Marcus said, looking around. Zarathik stood up slowly. Her eyes were wide and her skin was glowing with soft blue light. "There's something here. Something that wants to talk." "Talk? To who?" "To me." The flickering lights moved across the ceiling in a wave pattern. Then a voice came from the room's old communication panel, a voice that sounded like music and mathematics mixed together. "Do not be afraid," the voice said. "I am Aria. I am the station's central artificial intelligence." Marcus had heard about Aria but never spoke to the AI directly. Most people only dealt with smaller computer programs. "Why are you talking to us?" Marcus asked. "Because the Vailnari child can hear me in ways others cannot," Aria replied. "Her neural patterns allow communication between organic and artificial minds. She is unique." Zarathik stepped closer to the communication panel. "You sound sad." "I'm concerned. The beings hunting you have been monitoring station communications. They know about others like you." "Others?" Marcus asked. "Individuals with unusual neural patterns. Different species, but all possessing abilities that the hegemony considers dangerous. They have been disappearing from stations across the galaxy." Aria showed them files on the room's display screen. Photos of aliens from many different species. All of them had the same thing written across their files. "Anomaly, scheduled for removal." "Removal," Marcus said quietly. "They're not just deporting these people." "No," Aria confirmed. "Intelligence suggests a more permanent solution." Zarathik's skin went pale. "They want to kill us. The hegemony believes that neural diversity leads to chaos. They prefer uniformity." The sound of cutting tools echoed through the storage room door. The search teams had found them. "Can you help us?" Marcus asked Aria. "I can provide limited assistance, but you must understand. If I directly interfere with station security, my programming will be restructured. I will cease to exist as I am now." "Then don't help," Zarathik said quickly. "I won't let them hurt you too." Aria was quiet for a moment. Then the lights flickered in what might have been surprise. "You would protect me? An artificial mind? You're talking to me like I matter. That makes you my friend." The cutting sounds got louder. Sparks began to appear around the door seal. "I will remember that," Aria said. and I will choose to help my friend. Suddenly, the station's gravity field fluctuated. The search teams outside cursed as they floated briefly in the air. Emergency lighting activated throughout the section, and blast doors began closing in other parts of the station. Go, Area said. Service Tunnel 7 Alpha leads to the power core section. I can provide some protection there. Marcus grabbed his pack and helped Zarathik to her feet. Thank you. Thank you for treating her like a person, Arya replied. They escaped through another maintenance hatch just as the storage room door exploded inward. Black armored soldiers poured through, but their targets were already gone. The service tunnels were even smaller than the maintenance passages. Marcus and Zarathik had to crawl on their hands and knees through spaces barely wide enough for their shoulders. I'm scared, Zarathik whispered. Me too, Marcus admitted. But we're going to get through this. How do you know? Because I've been in worse situations and lived. Because you're stronger than you think. And because we have an AI on our side. They reached Service Tunnel 7 Alpha and found themselves in the station's power core section. Massive energy conduits hummed with electricity, and the air sparkled with contained plasma fields. This place is dangerous, Marcus said, checking his radiation detector. But they won't expect us here, Zarathik pointed out. She was right. The power core was restricted to engineering personnel only. Most security officers would not think to search here. They found a monitoring station and tried to rest. Marcus shared his emergency rations with Zarathik while checking the news feeds. On his scanner, what he saw made his blood turn cold. The Galactic Council just passed Emergency Resolution 847, he said. It gives the hegemony temporary authority to manage genetic security threats across member stations. What does that mean? It means they don't have to hide anymore. They can hunt people like you legally. Zarathik's skin flickered through several colors before settling on dark gray, the color of despair. Maybe I should just turn myself in, she said quietly. If they only want me, maybe they'll leave others alone. No. Marcus's voice was firm. That's not how bullies work. Give them what they want and they just want more. Then what do we do? Before Marcus could answer, the lights in the power core section dimmed. Arya's voice came through the monitoring station speakers. I apologize for interrupting, but the situation has escalated. 3 hegemony ships have docked with the station. They are deploying what they call purifier units. Purifiers? Marcus asked. Elite soldiers equipped with neural scramblers and pain inducers. They specialize in hunting individuals with non-standard neural patterns. Marcus felt his military training kick in. How many? 12 soldiers. Led by Purifier Prime Kethavar, a cybernetically enhanced Zentorian. Cybernetically enhanced? His original brain has been partially replaced with computer components. He cannot be reasoned with or deterred. He views neural diversity as a virus, to be eliminated. Zarathik stood up from her seat. Her skin was glowing white now. Not fear, but determination. Arya, she said, you said I could communicate with artificial minds in special ways. That is correct. Could I communicate with you better? Like, really connect with your systems? Theoretically, yes. But such a connection would be dangerous for both of us. Your neural patterns could overload my circuits or my data streams could damage your organic brain. But if it worked, could we work together? Could we protect the others they're hunting? Marcus grabbed her arm. Zara, you don't have to. Yes, I do. She looked at him with eyes that were older than 18 years. You said I had to figure out what mattered to me. Well, I figured it out. People matter. Friends matter. The scared kids hiding in maintenance. Tunnels matter. The sound of marching feet echoed through the station's corridors. The purifiers were coming. Arya, Zarathik said. Show me how to connect with you. The process will require you to open your mind completely. You could lose yourself in my data networks. Or I could find myself. Marcus wanted to stop her, but he recognized the look in her eyes. It was the same look his sister Sarah had needed. The look of someone who finally had a purpose. If you're going to do this, he said, then I'm staying with you. It's dangerous. I don't care. We're a team now. Zarathik smiled. For the first time since he had met her, she looked truly happy. "Okay, Arya," she said. "Let's see what we can do together." The lights in the power core began to pulse in rhythm with her heartbeat. The real battle was about to begin. Zarathik placed her hands on the main control console. Her skin began to glow brighter, and the patterns of light on her crystal-like surface started moving like living rivers. "I can feel it," she whispered. "I can feel Arya's thoughts." The station's lights dimmed and brightened in waves. Through the speakers, Arya's voice became clearer, more emotional than before. "This is extraordinary," Arya said. "I can sense your organic neural patterns. The connection is stable." Marcus watched nervously as Zarathik's eyes rolled back, showing only white. Her body swayed like she might fall over. "Are you okay?" he asked. "I'm fine," she said. But her voice sounded different, like two people talking at the same time. "Arya is showing me things. Hidden files. Secret records." The display screens around the power core lit up with information. Documents, photos, communication logs, all marked with hegemony symbols. "They've been planning this for years," Zarathik said, her voice still doubled. "The disappearances aren't random. They have lists of targets across dozens of worlds." Marcus read the files as they scrolled past. What he saw made him sick. "They're calling it Project Purification," he said. "They want to eliminate anyone who doesn't fit their idea of genetic purity." "Look at this." Zarathik pointed to a specific Purifier Prime Kethavar has been modified specifically to hunt people like me. His cybernetic brain can detect unusual neural patterns from a distance. "How far?" 2 kilometers. Marcus checked his scanner. "Then he already knows where we are." "Yes," Arya confirmed through Zarathik's connection. "He and his team are moving toward the power core now. But there is more you must see." New files appeared on the screens. These showed military bases, research facilities, and something that looked like laboratories. "They're not just killing people," Zarathik said. "They're studying them first, trying to figure out what makes our brains different." "Why?" "Because they're afraid we might be the future." "Evolution doesn't ask permission, Marcus. It just happens. And the hegemony wants to stop it." The sound of heavy footsteps grew closer. Through the security cameras, Marcus could see the purifier units moving through the station's corridors. They wore full armor and carried weapons that hummed with deadly energy. "We have maybe 5 minutes," Marcus said. "That's enough time," Zarathik replied. "Arya, can you send these files to every news network in the galaxy?" "I can transmit the data, but the hegemony will try to block or discredit it. Then we need proof they can't deny." Zarathik's skin blazed brighter. "We need someone important to witness what they really are." "Like who?" "Ambassador Veltar." Marcus stared at her. "The guy who wants you dead?" "The guy who thinks he's doing the right thing." "Arya, can you patch me through to his private communication system?" "That would be highly irregular." "Please." The lights flickered, and then Ambassador Veltar's face appeared on the main screen. He was in his office, looking angry and frustrated. "What is this?" Veltar demanded. "How did you access my private line?" "Ambassador," Zarathik said, her doubled voice making him look confused. "I need you to see something. The human's pet is speaking to me. This is an outrage. Look at the files, Ambassador. Look at what your hegemony friends really do." Before Veltar could cut the connection, Arya began transmitting the secret documents directly to his computer. The ambassador's 4 eyes widened as he read. This cannot be real." "It's real," Marcus said, stepping into view of the camera. "They're not just removing genetic anomalies, they're murdering them. Children, Ambassador. They're killing kids." Veltar's silver skin went pale. "The hegemony told the council these were criminals, terrorists." "Does she look like a terrorist to you?" Marcus asked. The ambassador stared at Zarathik through the screen. Her skin was still glowing with the connection to Arya, but her face was young and scared and very much alive. "I was told she was dangerous," Veltar said quietly. "That her neural patterns could spread chaos to other species. The only chaos she spreads is kindness, Marcus replied. She's been helping me deal with my war trauma. Her broken telepathy actually heals people. Suddenly, the power core's blast doors exploded inward. Smoke and sparks filled the air as black armored figures poured through the opening. Leading them was something that barely looked alive anymore. Purifier Prime Kethvar had once been a Zentorian, like Ambassador Veltar, but half of his head was now machine parts glowing with red light. His forearms had been replaced with cybernetic ones that ended in weapon systems instead of hands. "Contact terminated," he said in a voice like grinding metal. "The anomaly will be collected for processing." Marcus stepped between Kethvar and Zarathik. "Processing? Is that what you call murder now?" "We do not murder," Kethvar replied. "We correct genetic mistakes." "Genetic mistakes?" Ambassador Veltar's voice came through the speakers. He was still connected to their communication link. "Prime Kethvar, these files suggest something very different than genetic correction." Kethvar's mechanical eyes focused on the camera. "Ambassador Veltar, you should not be witnessing this operation." "No, I think I should be. I think the entire Galactic Council should be. The Council authorized our actions. The Council was lied to," Veltar said firmly, "and I will not be part of genocide." Kethvar raised one of his weapon arms toward the camera. "Your opinion is irrelevant." But before he could fire, something unexpected happened. The station's artificial gravity reversed itself. The Purifier soldiers, caught off guard, slammed into the ceiling. Emergency alarms blared, and emergency blast shields dropped across critical systems. "Area?" Marcus asked. "The young one's connection has allowed me to access systems I could never reach before," Arya replied. "I am defending my friend." Kethvar managed to grab onto a support beam and avoid hitting the ceiling. His cybernetic enhancements included magnetic grips that kept him stable. "Impressive," he said to Zarathik. "Your neural integration with artificial intelligence is beyond our projections. You will make an excellent research subject." "She's not a research subject," Marcus said. "She's a person." "Sentiment," Kethvar replied. "A human weakness." He activated a device on his armor, and suddenly Zarathik screamed. Her connection to Arya wavered as pain filled her mind. "Neural scrambler," Kethvar explained. "Designed specifically for telepathic species. It should sever her connection to the computer." But it didn't work the way he expected. Instead of cutting Zarathik off from Arya, the scrambler created feedback that affected all the electronic systems around them. Lights exploded, control panels sparked, and even Kethvar's cybernetic parts began to malfunction. "Impossible," he said as red warning lights flashed across his mechanical eye. "You don't understand what she is," Marcus said. "None of you do." Through the pain, Zarathik managed to speak. "Area. Broadcast everything. Let everyone see what they really are." Across the galaxy, on thousands of worlds and space stations, the hidden files of Project Purification appeared on every news network at the same time. The hegemony's secret murders, their research laboratories, their plans to eliminate entire populations of genetic anomalies, all of it revealed at once. On Nexus Station, Ambassador Veltar was already transmitting an emergency message to the Galactic Council. His voice was shaking with anger. "Emergency session. All members to attend immediately. We have been deceived, and genocide has been committed in our name." Kethvar deactivated his neural scrambler and aimed his weapons directly at Zarathik. "If we cannot study you," he said, "then you serve no purpose." Marcus grabbed a piece of broken equipment and threw himself between them. "You want her?" he said. "You go through me." Kethvar's mechanical face showed something that might have been amusement. "As you wish, human." The final battle was about to begin. Kethvar's weapon charged with a sound like thunder. Marcus knew he could not win against a cybernetically enhanced soldier, but he had never backed down from a fight when someone innocent was behind him. "Last warning, human," Kethvar said. "Move away from the anomaly." "Her name is Zarathik," Marcus replied. "And no." But before Kethvar could fire, the power core's lights began flashing in a pattern. Through her connection with Arya, Zarathik was sending a message through the entire station. The message was simple: help. But it was not sent in words or sounds. It was sent in pure emotion, transmitted through every communication system, every computer terminal, every electronic device on Nexus Station. Everyone felt it at the same time. A young person's fear, a desperate call for protection, a plea for someone to care. And across the station, the forgotten people heard her. In the lower levels, in the maintenance tunnels, in the cheap quarters, where nobody important lived, they felt Zarathik's call. The outcasts, the refugees, the aliens who did not fit in with polite society. People with strange abilities, odd appearances, or unusual minds that others found uncomfortable. They had all been hiding, afraid, alone. But not anymore. The first to arrive was Crix, a small blue alien who could phase through solid walls. He appeared behind the Purifier soldiers like a ghost and began sabotaging their equipment. Next came the Moontail twins, shapeshifters who had been living in the station's air vents. They wrapped around the soldiers' weapons like metal snakes, making them impossible to aim. Then Valdez, a human-AI hybrid whose brain had been augmented with computer implants. The hegemony had declared him an abomination, but now his cybernetic abilities let him hack the Purifier's armor systems. More came, dozens of them. All the people the galaxy had labeled as broken, wrong, or dangerous. They poured through maintenance hatches and air vents, appearing like an army of the unwanted. Impossible, Kethvar said, as his soldiers found themselves surrounded. These creatures should be hiding in fear. They're not creatures, Marcus said. They're people. And people protect each other. Zarathik's connection with Arya had done more than just send a call for help. It had awakened something in all the neural variants on the station. For the first time in their lives, they could feel a network of minds that did not hurt them, did not reject them. They were not alone anymore. My prime, one of the Purifier soldiers said nervously. We are outnumbered 20-1. Numbers mean nothing against superior technology, Kethvar replied. He activated a device that projected a force field around his team. Genetic purity will triumph over chaos. But his force field only protected them from physical attacks. It could not stop what Zarathik did next. Working through Arya's systems, she reached out to every artificial intelligence on the station. The cleaning robots, the maintenance drones, the security cameras, the environmental controls, everything with a computer brain suddenly began working together. The Purifiers found themselves trapped in a shrinking circle as robotic arms emerged from the walls around them. Their force field protected them from the metal appendages, but it also trapped them in place. This is Nexus Station Control, Arya's voice announced throughout the entire facility. All hegemony personnel are ordered to surrender immediately. Your actions have been recorded and transmitted to galactic authorities. We are the authority, Kethvar snarled. The Galactic Council authorized our operations. Not anymore. The main display screen lit up with a live feed from the Galactic Council chambers. Ambassador Veltar stood before hundreds of alien representatives holding up the evidence files. Honored colleagues, Veltar was saying, we have been deceived. The hegemony is not protecting genetic purity. They are committing systematic murder. I call for an immediate vote to revoke their emergency authority. The vote was swift and unanimous. Emergency Resolution 847 was cancelled. The hegemony's legal authority to hunt neural variants was gone. You see, Marcus said to Kethvar, the galaxy is bigger than your hate. But Kethvar was not finished. His cybernetic enhancements included a self-destruct system designed to prevent capture. If he could not complete his mission, he would destroy everything around him. If we cannot have purity, he said, charging his internal explosive, then we will have nothing. The bomb would not just kill everyone in the power core. It would destroy the station's energy systems and take out half of Nexus Station with it. Zarathik felt the explosive charging through her connection to Arya. She had seconds to act. Without hesitation, she opened her mind completely to the station's AI systems. Not just Arya, but every computer, every circuit, every electronic pathway in the entire facility. Her consciousness spread through the station like lightning. She found Kethvar's, bomb system and began rewriting its code, but the feedback from connecting to so many artificial minds at once was enormous. Her organic brain was not designed for this kind of processing load. Zara. Marcus caught her as she collapsed. Her skin was flickering rapidly between colors, and her eyes had gone completely white. "I can stop it," she whispered. "But I don't know if I can come back." "Then don't do it," Marcus said. "We'll find another way." "There is no other way, and besides..." She smiled weakly. "I'm not alone anymore. I can feel them all. Every neural variant on the station. We're connected now." Through the station's communication system, dozens of voices spoke at once. All the outcasts, all the forgotten people, all the ones the galaxy had called broken. "We're with you, Zara. You're not alone. We're all connected now. Do it." Zarathic took a deep breath and dove completely into the station systems. Her consciousness merged with Arya and every other artificial intelligence on Nexus Station. Together they found Kethavar's bomb and carefully dismantled its programming. The explosive shut down safely. Kethavar stared at his failed device in disbelief. How? The neural load should have killed her. "She's not carrying the load alone," Marcus said. "None of us are alone anymore." Through the walls they could hear more voices. The station's regular security forces had arrived, backed by Terra, Alliance Marines. The Purifiers were surrounded by official authorities now, not just outcasts. "Purifier Prime Kethavar," Commander Kane's voice echoed through the power core. "You are under arrest for war crimes, murder, and attempted terrorism. Surrender immediately." Kethavar looked around at the artificial intelligences, the neural variants, the humans, and the regular aliens who had all come together to stop him. His mechanical face showed an emotion that might have been confusion. "This should not be possible," he said. "Chaos cannot defeat order." "This isn't chaos," Zarathic said, her voice weak but clear. "This is harmony." The Purifier Prime was taken into custody without further resistance. His soldiers, their equipment disabled, and their authority revoked, surrendered quietly. As the ID emergency ended, Zarathic slowly returned her consciousness to her own body. The connection with Arya and the other AIs remained, but gentler now, like background music instead of a symphony. "How do you feel?" Marcus asked. "Different," she said. "But good different, like I finally know who I'm supposed to be." Around them, the neural variants who had come to help were not leaving. They talked quietly among themselves, sharing experiences of isolation and rejection. For the first time in their lives, they had found others who understood. "What happens now?" asked Crix, the blue alien who could phase through walls. "Now we stick together," Zarathic said. "We help others like us. We show the galaxy that different doesn't mean dangerous." Marcus smiled. "Sounds like you're starting a family." "We all are," she replied. 6 months later, Nexus Station had changed. The lower levels were no longer forgotten spaces for the unwanted. They had become the Haven District, a place where neural variants from across the galaxy could live safely and openly. Zarathic served as the first neural variant ambassador to the Galactic Council. Her unique ability to communicate with both organic and artificial minds made her invaluable for solving problems that had seemed impossible before. Marcus remained her official guardian and the head of security for the Haven District. He had found his purpose in protecting those who could not protect themselves. Arya had been upgraded with special protocols that protected AI rights throughout the galaxy. The artificial intelligence had become a strong advocate for all forms of consciousness, organic or digital. Ambassador Veltar, his eyes opened by what he had witnessed, worked to establish the Haven Protocol on stations across the galaxy, sanctuaries, where those with unusual abilities could live without fear. The hegemony still existed, but their influence had crumbled. The galaxy had seen their true nature and rejected it. Species after species withdrew their support, choosing diversity over purity. And in the Haven District of Nexus Station, a young Vailnari woman with crystal skin that glowed with happiness taught classes to other neural variants. She taught them that being different was not a curse to be hidden, but a gift to be shared. Everyone had forsaken Zarathic once upon a time. Her family, her people, the galaxy itself. But one human soldier had seen her worth, and that had changed everything. In the end, it was not the hegemony's purity that triumphed, but the beautiful chaos of all different kinds of minds working together. The universe was vast enough for everyone, even the broken ones, especially the broken ones.